Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is part 12 of the build. In today's episode, as you can see, we are cleaning up the crank and starting to build up the bottom end again. Some of you may or may not know, we had to sell the previous engine we built because it weren't going to be up to the spec that we needed for Rallycross, dealing with high RPMs all the time and all that. Apparently there's something in terms of the oil pump and the gears inside the oil pump. They aren't going to be up to it, and also about the hydraulic lifters. So I'm not sure what way round that is, whether the Blacktop has the hydraulic lifters or the Silvertop, but either way, one or the other, it weren't going to be suitable for what we needed. So we decided to do it again and thought we might as well have the car as it needs to be. No point just rushing it and then it not being up to the spec that we needed. So I'm just cleaning out the crank at the moment, clean up all the little holes now with the engine cleaning kit. It's quite satisfying actually. Now obviously it's sped up quite a lot. It did take some time to do because you don't want to like rush it. You want to make sure it's all clean and fresh right when it goes into the engine. We did actually have this polished before, but because it was sitting in the bag for a week or whatever until we got the other parts to begin the build, there was like surface rust or on the actual crank, not on the bearings side of it, but yeah, it was fine. So we as you can see, just clean it up now. We also, it's not going to be shown in the video, we painted the bottom, the block, and it's quite a unique colour to be fair. Almost looks a bit like a bronzy gold sort of colour. Actually not really what we was looking at. We had picked out a grey, but the can came out that colour, which weren't really an issue to be fair. I like the colour of it, so maybe let me know what you think down below. I'll put a video or a picture in of it now. So yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments of that. But now, as you can see, this is my first time ever doing it. Dad was just guiding me through the steps of how to do it, but I was filing the rings. So obviously in the device is the ring grinder. Now I was doing every 5 rotations, then recheck it. And now a lot of the time these rings didn't actually need that much filing. We'd worked out through the Wasser instructions guide what gap we needed. Now that took us a lot of time to double check, triple check that it was all correct before we went and done it. So again, I didn't actually show that on camera, but that was a consideration at the time. Doing this, like I say, weren't actually too bad because there was the oil ring and then there was the actual main ring. But 2 for each piston, 4 cylinder, there was only 8 to do. I think Dad actually done the first one for me, just to show me how to do it. But then yeah, I was checking that it was all good, and making sure to clean the ring each time with brake cleaner, so that there was no like bits of speckly that I'd grinded off and it stuck to the ring, which would have meant that it might not have given a true measurement. And again, it was quite a minimal thing, but I just thought let's do it properly. So yeah, like I see, it's a bit of a repetitive process, but this is just part of the build.
Yes, well, okay, that's nice. We'll be back up and just let that over a little bit. Don't force it. I'll literally get like my 2 turns. Check it. Everyone, I'll mix down. Yeah, so it goes slightly by the what? Ooh. No, sorry. Maybe just recheck the foot. Yeah, just, yeah. Maybe more fast. Yeah, it. Just do it in 2 minutes. Just let that into the flow. Just so that it doesn't make sharp edges. Okay, what we're going to do now. Okay, you go now.
And so as you can see now, I'm putting in the fuel rails. These are unique to Blacktop, I think. I'm not gonna, don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure they're, or certainly Zetec, I think. But I definitely know that it's a good thing to have. So yeah, as you can see, just putting them in, putting the bolts into it, and then we just ratchet tighten them up. Now, I'm not sure if they've got to be torqued to spec, but I've got a sheet that runs through all the Zetec torquing, so we'll check that. And if they do, they do. Luckily, we haven't actually got further yet to do this, but yeah, as you can see, it's not. I don't think they're a critical thing, to be honest, as long as they're tight. So yeah, just tightening all of them, just hand tight at the moment. Right, and so now, as you can see, I'm actually just cleaning up the oil pump housing. It looks a bit corroded, and we want it to all look fresh and neat. So putting this much effort in, you might as well have it looking nice. And that's obviously our trainer thought for all of it, so we are, like I said, you can see just how much dust is coming off of it. But yeah, just on the drill with the little bit, and getting into the mixing cannons. Again, it was a little bit of a time pressing thing, but 10 minutes and it looked way better than it did before, so the way we look at it is, it was definitely worth doing. It looked like just painting over it or whatever. Like with the rest of the car, we've gone so far with the bodywork, and Terry, he's done a huge amount of work with it, levelling up the panels, things like that, because before they were just really bad. bit of a shame, to be honest, because I'd say the bodywork has really held us back with the build, just because of how much work had to be done. It was almost like building the panels again. There was over 11 layers of paint to take off. 11 layers, which even on the DA, it's taken in terms of time, probably about 2 weeks straight of sanding. That's because obviously not everything's on a flat panel. Some you need to try and get in with just your hand and some sandpaper. It weren't as easy as you kind of think. But now we've moved on to, we're actually going to replace the gear inside the oil pump with the billet gears. Burton supplied us with that. A huge thanks to them again. They've really helped us out with this build. In the whole car actually, but in particular the engine bits, they've supplied all the bits for us for that. So you can see we've actually removed it out. We're putting more grease in there. That's a new fresh grease. And then this is the new gear. So it doesn't look any different. Got to be honest, I didn't think there was any difference to it, but I think it's just like the material they're made from. It's a stronger material. Right, so as you can see now, just putting the cover back on. We'll put all the bolts back in and then tighten them up again. This is it for this episode. This is part 1 of the engine build. There's going to be a few more parts, to be honest. I think we do have another video ready to go up after this, so that'll probably be a week's time from now. But if you're interested and you want to keep seeing more footage, then please drop a like and subscribe, and then let us know in the comments what you want to see, and I'll make sure to try and get some footage of that as well. So thank you all for watching, obviously. In next episode we'll actually be putting the crank in. There's also some good news, is we got the head sent off to Area 51 Developments, and they've actually gone and built the whole head up with us, done a big deal as well, and that's meant that once we get the head back, we can just bolt it to the block, and the engine will all be built then, and it's just the ancillaries. So, like I say, thank you for watching. If you liked it, drop a like, and we'll see you next time.